This is a walk around of my model railroad, starting where the tracks from the West End staging enter the layout under this bridge, following the tracks by an oil refinery on the backdrop, and then looking at an oil loading facility where we see a Southern Pacific switch engine spotting some tank cars. Following around, there's an SPGP-9 on a local freight sitting in the siding at Brookhurst. We'll walk along the track at Brookhurst. There's the Brookhurst station. A little bit of the town of Brookhurst. Greyhound Bus Depot. Citrus Exchange. Through a short backdrop. Past Villa Park Orchards Packing House. The line continues on, crosses a dry creek bed, small rural house, and then a fairly large orange grove, a general store, another packing house, this one belonging to Santiago Orange Growers Association. Here we see a Santa Fe RS1 moving a string of empty stock cars. Going through a broad curve here and into the outskirts of the town of Chapman, city of Chapman. There's a bus maintenance facility. Chapman has an engine terminal with a number of Southern Pacific locomotives here right now. One caboose on the caboose track. There's a Santa Fe Alco switch engine on a Santa Fe track. Now we're looking in towards the Chapman Depot. See some passenger cars there. The Chapman freight tracks are pretty empty right now. Here's looking into the corner of the layout towards a packing house and a lumber yard. Swinging back now towards Chapman itself. We'll pan across the Chapman Depot. Come back and take a quick look at the Chapman Bus Depot and the Southern Pacific Freight House. And then continue to walk around. Some more Chapman, the freight house, an ice deck, the ice plant in behind, the wholesale grocer, Exchange lemon plant, a view down Van Buren Boulevard in Arlington. There's a smudge oil tank. Keeling Towing Service and Lamb Auto Repair. Another look at the other side of the Chapman Depot, Railway Express building. Now we just follow the tracks along, come along the other side of the engine terminal and into Riverside. The tracks in the foreground are the Santa Fe 3rd District main line. In the background is the Southern Pacific Riverside branch. Alfred M. Lewis Wholesale Grocery. National Orange Company Sunkist Packing House. Down here in the foreground we see a UPGP-7 stopped on a siding. There are refrigerator cars for another packing house. This one, the E.T. Wall Packing House. The furniture warehouse. Shell Oil Distributor. Scrapyard, back of National Orange. Some of the scene of the Riverside area. There's a giant orange stand back here where people can pick up a fresh glass of orange juice, and the tracks disappear behind a cut back here and go into the upper deck. Now we'll walk back and pick up the upper deck. You can see it off in the distance. As we walk towards it, this part of the upper deck represents Highgrove. There's the Santa Fe 3rd District double track main line, and then in the foreground is the SP Riverside branch that comes down through Highgrove. There's the Santa Fe Highgrove Station, San Gorgonio Winery, another packing house on the Santa Fe, and here's the Highgrove Fruit Association on the SP, another smudge oil distributor, and in the back a grain exchange, another bulk oil dealer, tractor dealer, the Barton Road overpass over both the Southern Pacific and the Santa Fe. And here we see Colton Tower. There's Colton Crossing in the background where 2 Southern Pacific tracks cross the 2 Santa Fe tracks. The SP Riverside branch comes in the foreground. There's the San Bernardino Freeway. Hub City Laundry, Universal Milling, Globe Grain and Milling, and here's where the SP tracks go into Colton staging, and behind the Globe Grain and Milling is where the Santa Fe and UP line goes into San Bernardino staging. And on the backdrop we can see Mount San Bernardino and Mount San Gorgonio. And that's the end of our tour of the layout.